So today I'm going to show you how to get the Xbox 360 emulator up and running on your handheld device, whether it be your Xbox Ally X, your Z1 Extreme, or any other device using Windows. I'm going to show you where to get the downloads from, what to set up, what settings to change, how to add your games, and get everything set up so that you can start playing your 360 games on your handheld device. All right, so the first thing we need to do is exit to the desktop. So if you happen to be on the Xbox Ally X or any other handheld that uses the full screen experience, the Xbox mode like you see here, we have to go ahead and exit so that we can continue on from there. If you don't have that and you're not using that, it's perfectly fine. But for those who are, go ahead and hit your dedicated Xbox button to bring up this menu here. Or if you don't have that, go ahead and hit the Command Center button and it'll bring up pretty much the same menu. Scroll over to the cogwheel and then down to exit full screen experience. Now it may say exit Xbox mode depending on when you watch this, but as of right now it says this. If you don't know which button to hit, you can always swipe up from the bottom of the screen and go to Windows desktop mode from there. So go ahead and click that. And it would normally boot you into the desktop, but my Xbox window decided to stay open. But once you're here, just go to your web browser of choice. Mine happens to be Chrome. And then from here, we're going to look up Xbox 360 emulator. It should be the first link. Just make sure that it's xenia-emulator.com and not the Japanese website that's here. I'll have the link in the description down below that you can go ahead and click on if you want to go ahead and do that. But we're going to go click on that and it should bring you to this website here. Click on download. If you get a pop-up, just make sure to go ahead and close that. Once you're on the download page, go ahead and scroll down. Now we have a few different options. So we have the official, which is just going to be the emulator itself, no frills, no settings, nothing to change, and you could go ahead and play your games like that. Or you could go ahead to the Xenia manager, which is going to give us a lot more to work with. It also has compatibility for certain games that might not work with the just OG standard version. So we're going to click on the Xenia manager and we're going to download that. Once that's downloaded, up here, we're going to click on the little folder and that's going to bring up our download destination just to make it a little bit easier, and go ahead and drag that to the desktop. Once it's here, you can either right click if you're using the mouse like I am. If not, long press it with your finger on the screen and it should bring up this menu here. Go ahead and extract all. Extract. And then once that's done and this is popped up, you can go ahead and delete that zip folder. And we're going to start off by pressing Xenia Manager Updater. We're going to let that update. You should get an error. It's perfectly fine. For whatever reason this happens, just click OK. And then it's going to freeze with this menu here. If you want, you can go ahead and long press or right click on this to close the window. And then we're going to go into the Xenia Manager here. And it should bring up this window. Now we need to go ahead and download the actual emulator. In order to do that, we're going to click this little box here that looks like a heart that's sideways with the plus icon. And it's going to bring you up here. Click install for Xenia Canary. You're going to get this pop up here. We're going to go ahead and click on create profile. And then you're going to make a gamer tag. So you can use whatever you want. It could be something that you actually have. Just make up whatever you want. There's no online functionality. So it's not an actual gamer tag. It's just what it's going to use because the emulator requires it. Go ahead and create that. And then you can close out of this window for now because there are a few things we need to mess with. So you could go back into this here. And then we're going to go to the first icon. And that's going to bring up the emulator whenever you need it. We're going to go to the second icon, and this is where we're going to put our games. So we're going to go ahead to the folder to scan for games. Now you can either have your games on your handheld yourself. You can have it on an SD card, on an external hard drive. I'm using an external hard drive. It all works exactly the same. It doesn't matter what you're using. It could be the slowest SD card. These are 360 games, so the speed at which these devices run doesn't really matter. So go for the cheapest option. If you don't have an SD card or an external hard drive, use the internal storage. These games really don't take up too much space. From there, I'm going to go ahead and find my Xbox 360 games, select that folder, and then it should populate with the games. There you go. Take a little bit, depending on how many games you have is how long that's going to take. And then once that's done, we could go to the little cogwheel here to open up settings, and there are a few things we should change. Now for audio, I like to just keep it as is. I don't touch anything, but the display is what I'm going to go ahead and change. Now you can have it set to full screen, so whenever you start a game, it goes full screen. I like to leave this off because all you have to do is double tap on the display. It'll go full screen, double tap again, and it'll exit full screen. So if you want to go ahead and minimize the window to do something in the background, whatever it may be, that's what we're going to do there. Internal display resolution, we're going to leave at 1280 by 720. And then for these here, pretty much up to you. If you want to use letterbox, full screen, some games are not in a widescreen aspect. This will put that in a widescreen aspect. Just play around with these settings if you want, but the frame rate limit, we are going to go ahead and set to 60. Then from there, we're going to go to graphics. In the graphics API, I want to go ahead and set to D3, D12. Normally, I would use Vulkan, but there are some Xbox 360 games that just don't play well with it. So use the D3 setting. If you notice that a game doesn't work or it's not functioning properly, you can always go ahead and set that to Vulkan and see if that worked for you. And then we're going to go down to change a few other things. So draw resolution scale, we're going to set that to do. Anti-aliasing, we're going to go ahead and set that to FXAA. And then scaling and sharpening, we're going to set to AMD FSR. And we're going to leave everything else pretty much as is. We got general for game patches, title updates. You also have show achievement notifications. If you get an achievement, it pop up. License mask here. Certain games that you download may be Xbox Marketplace games. I forgot what they're called, but they might have a trial version and then a paid version. If you download the trial version, you could go ahead and set to all licenses. And I believe that will give you the full license of the game so that you can actually play it and not just have the trial version. So there's that. And then user input system, we're going to go ahead and set to Xput so that our controls work. We have hacks if you want to go through with all this. I don't really touch that, but that's pretty much it. So we're going to open up, I pressed the wrong button. We're going to open up our games, and then to launch a game, just press it and the game should launch. I'm currently playing Blue Dragon and it should just work. I forgot to back up my saves. I have that on my hard drive, but it should work as you see here. All right, so there you go. That's how you get Xbox 360 games and the emulator up and running on your handheld device, whether it be the Xbox Ally X, the Z1 Extreme, or any other device using a Windows handheld. If you happen to have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm definitely gonna get that. Wow. I'm definitely gonna get that one question: where do I get the games? Unfortunately, I can't really tell you where to get games. So if somebody else in the comment section down below wants to let somebody else know where to get games, as long as it's not sketchy, I will approve the comment. But ultimately, I can't tell you myself. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you out, you know what to do. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I hope to see you on the next one.